One security executive who spends his career forecasting fraud losses for the US government has put a number on where this is headed. Not millions, not billions, $1 trillion in a single year, if nothing changes. Somewhere, right now, in a call center that looks like any other office, headsets, cubicles, a manager pacing the floor, someone is about to lose their life savings. Not to a lone hacker in a hoodie, not to some genius mastermind, to a company, a real one, with shift schedules, performance targets, employee of the month. Except the product isn't software, or sales leads, or customer support. The product is you. Your trust. Your voice cloned. Your bank's fraud team fooled. And the CEO running it never has to say a single word, because the AI says it for him. This is how criminals stopped running scams and started building a $1 trillion machine. For decades, fraud had a ceiling. A con artist could only call so many people, write so many emails, keep so many lies straight in their head before the story fell apart. Scale was the enemy of the scammer. Then generative AI showed up and quietly removed the ceiling. What used to take a skilled fraudster hours, writing a convincing email, building a fake persona, rehearsing an accent, now takes a machine seconds. And it doesn't get tired. It doesn't get sloppy. It doesn't slip up on the 14th call of the day because it's never made the first 13. Financial crime investigators have watched something remarkable happen over the past 2 years. Fraud stopped looking like crime and started looking like industry. Complaint numbers tied to AI-enabled schemes have climbed into the tens of thousands annually in the US alone, with total losses from online fraud now running into the tens of billions of dollars a year. Behind those numbers sits a quiet but massive shift, from individual con artists to organized networks that operate like startups, with hiring pipelines, with software vendors, with quarterly growth targets. So, how does a scam actually become a business? Walk through the stack. Sourcing. AI tools now scrape social media at scale, building detailed psychological profiles of potential victims. Their job, their financial stress points, their family relationships, even their emotional vulnerabilities. The system doesn't guess who to target, it calculates. Production. Voice cloning needs only a few seconds of someone's voice, pulled from a podcast, a company earnings call, a birthday video posted online, to generate a convincing replica. Video deepfakes can now simulate a live call. A CEO can appear on a video conference in real time and instruct an employee to wire company funds. Investigators have started calling this business email compromise 2.0. Delivery. Chatbots run the actual con. In romance and investment scams, sometimes called pig butchering, an AI persona can sustain a warm, patient, months-long relationship with a victim, remembering every detail, never breaking character, never needing sleep. By the time real money moves, the victim believes they're talking to someone who loves them. Franchising. Perhaps the most unsettling part, none of this requires technical skill anymore. Fraud-as-a-service operations now rent out these tools, scripts, cloned voices, chatbot personas, to anyone willing to pay. A criminal enterprise that once needed a mastermind now just needs a subscription. Put those 4 layers together and you don't have a scam. You have a supply chain. But every industry generates friction, and this one is starting to. Banks and financial institutions are now fighting AI with AI. Running real-time behavioral analysis that watches how you type, move a mouse, or hold your phone, not just what you type. It's a strange arms race. Algorithms built to imitate trust versus algorithms built to detect the imitation. Some of it is working. Deepfake detection has shortened breach response times. Cross-border task forces have started dismantling scam compound operations that once ran with near impunity, freeing workers who, in the ugliest twist of this story, are sometimes trafficking victims themselves, forced to run the very scripts written by the AI. Because that's the part often missed. The employees of a scam factory aren't always willing participants. Some are prisoners of the business model. It rarely collapses all at once. It collapses in raids. Law enforcement operations over the past 2 years have taken down compound-style fraud operations housing thousands of workers, seizing servers loaded with cloned voice models, victim scripts, and payment laundering software. Each raid reveals the same structure: floor managers, sales quotas, performance bonuses, an org chart built for deception. And yet, for every operation dismantled, new ones spin up. Because the barrier to entry has nearly disappeared, you don't need to build the machine anymore. You just need to rent it. That's the uncomfortable truth at the center of this story. This isn't a single company we can point to and say, this is where it ended. It's a business model. And business models don't collapse. They evolve. The human cost is the part statistics can't hold. An elderly grandmother, convinced her granddaughter is in police custody, hands over her savings in cash to a stranger at her door. A finance employee, staring at a video call with what looks and sounds exactly like their CEO, authorizes a transfer that empties an account in minutes. A lonely person, months into what felt like the realest relationship of their life, discovers the voice on the other end was never a person at all. Remember that $1 trillion warning from the top of this video? It's not a confirmed total. It's a worst-case forecast from a fraud risk expert who's called past disasters correctly before. Even the more conservative estimates put AI-driven fraud losses on a path toward $40 billion a year within the next couple of years. Either way, the number will never capture the version of trust that doesn't come back once it's broken. Here's what this story actually teaches us. Fraud used to rely on you being careless. Now it relies on you being human, on the very things that make you trusting, loving, dutiful, hopeful. The defense isn't smarter passwords, it's friction. A pause before you send money, a second channel to verify a call really came from who it says it did, a refusal to let urgency make the decision for you. The machines got faster. That just means we have to get slower, on purpose. If this kind of story pulls back the curtain for you, that's exactly what this channel exists to do. Subscribe for more deep dives into the frauds, collapses, and hidden machinery behind the financial world. And drop a comment. Would you catch an AI-cloned voice call from someone you love? I'll read the best ones. This has been Finance Uncovered. Stay skeptical.